It's begun. All right, now I'm going to get the stopwatch up. We are 1 minute and a little bit out. This is perfect timing. Oops, I hit the emergency button on my phone. So 911 will be en route, which is all good.
They're going to get your call.
I'll break my leg real quick. Hold on.
Oh, thank you. It would be embarrassing if you didn't. All right, so I got my stopwatch ready here, 40 minutes. So, shuffle up. It's setup time. This is the Manic Marathon Passionate Concise Fan Media Challenge.
Oh, now. Okay, like this?
Remember what I said about concise?
Okay. Not that difficult. Yes, no. All right, we're going to go here, 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 here. And which way are you going from?
Left, right.
Left, right? There.
You're going to let me end without a challenge? Yeah, middle. Okay, good. All right, can I get a countdown from everyone? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hey everybody, it's the Manic Media Fan Media Challenge. We're going to be doing Cyberverse Deluxe Soundwave. Now, Cyberverse Deluxe Soundwave is a beautiful character from the show. He turns into a truck. You can probably see he's got a little bit of a sound wave on this accessory. I think that's pretty cool. We're never going to see this again. But his truck mode, it rolls, it's got some beef, and I think these Cyberverse Deluxes are pretty neat, especially because when they transform, they get going, baby! Now, this guy was voice acted by the guy who played Nikali in Street Fighter V, I believe. What is it? The Engineer on Twitter. Yeah, Mark Swint. He's a pretty cool dude. And this thing has some tight tabs, but I got it going because I wanted to get to this part to show you all that this has a little bit of that classic, what we call truck walk. That is a truck that can sit, it can stand, it can walk. It's a good time. Soundwave's robot mode is ready. It's not ready, I'm joking. The shoulders here are a little bit funky because those arms got to jam up into that backpack. But once you get him out of there, oh baby, it gets going. Also, this little Soundwave detail on his shoulder matches up with the one on this thing I said we were going to see again. Surprise, it's a swerve! Pro wrestling, baby. Now, this little backpack is the first weak part we're going to talk about on this toy because this backpack frame sticks out like a sore thumb if a sore thumb was an entire armature connected to the back of your shoulder blades and spine. Get out of the way. Doesn't look very good. But from over here, oh baby, this guy looks super fine. He's got that deluxe thing going for Cyberverse where these toys are remarkably good and completely under-advertised. Also, one final thing. These shoulders, actual ratchets. Articulation on him is pretty solid because he's got them ankle tilts, and that means he's a good toy. He's got waist, he's got everything really other than ab crunch. His neck moves all over the place, and then his chest flips open to deploy a little friend who has more backstory on this show than Laserbeak ever had in any other Transformers fiction. Cyberverse is a very good show. You all should watch it. Anyone out there watch Cyberverse, give me a cheap pop. It's Laserbeak! Laserbeak's got some little effect part peg holes so you can actually put him happily on Soundwave's shoulder or forearm. We're going to go shoulder because then I don't have to pose him. But look at that. They're little friends. They're having a good time. You should pick up this toy if it's still available. I don't know. I haven't been to a Walmart in like 7 months. But that's Soundwave. Next toy has a challenge. We are doing Legacy Skids. Review sample used. And the challenge for this one is, audience, request a PG-rated essay question. It will be answered via the review.
Okay, raise your hand if you have an idea.
Any question. First question off the top of your head. Go, back.
Why is Skids the best bot?
Why is Skids the best bot? That's a bit of a gimme, but I'm going to go for it. Skids, best bot. Have you ever seen a car that looks like a shoe? Shoes are great. We all wear them. And I love shoe cars. That's Skids. He's got stripes for speed, and what better car shoe does it make than one with gun on top? Am I right? This gun, by the way, splits into parts, but for the purposes of this, I think it's going to be one thing. He rolls like a champion, but the transformation on this is really cool because the instructions let you do it in a way where his roof is going to pop apart. All you got to do when you transform him is connect the roof like this before you fold the legs up. I'll show you in reverse while we get going here. Look at that. I folded the legs out. The roof is still solidly in place. Connect the roof there when you turn it into a truck, into a shoe car, and you're good to go. The wheels back here do a really fun thing where they go underneath. I wish more toys did that. Honestly, that was a classic from New Age Flipper. Who remembers the best toy of that TFcon? Baby! We got some Diaclone stuff going on here of, arms with shoulders with wheels on them, and then the wheels turn back. Where'd the wheels go? I don't know. But what I do know is the head is going to dynamically reveal. The hips back here kind of S-curve the spine a little bit, but that makes him get taller, more handsome. Skids, the most handsome robot of all of G1 if you ignore all of the other cars and the Decepticons. He is a really fantastic, sexy boy if you pretend that he's the only Transformer in the show. Otherwise, I think he's still quite attractive in his own way. The door wings, one wishes these things collapsed inwards just a little bit. But where they are, they can still, let him fly like a skidser fly, which is like a butterfly made of skids. The weapon here, in fact, comes apart. This, designed less for skids, more for a play pattern I don't have anything to interact with. But his gun here, you can pop it into 2 guns. You can let skids dual wield if you want. You can start pretending one of them's a nudge gun of some kind if you're reading some kind of fiction somewhere. Main thing to say here is that he's got wrist swivels, and that's pretty exciting on a deluxe. The big feet have big ankle tilts. All the other articulation stuff you already know. And we're going concise here, so I want to keep us moving and just say if you think it moves, it probably does. If you're wondering if it moves, yes, the ankles tilt. There's no ab crunch, come on, be realistic. But he's got a little bit of head bobble. He can shake his head and say, I'm not doing this review anymore. Okay, fine, Skids. You're pretty good. I was really hard on him for a while, and then he turned out to be one of my surprise favorite deluxes, if you ignore RC and Drag Strip. I don't have kickback. I just made the same damning through faint praise I did about his show character. Next up, Kingdom Road Rage. This was provided to me because I paid him the money he paid for it, or I can't remember anymore, by Matt McNally. You might have seen him doing some other panels, and the challenge for this one is the axe smithing. Oh,
you don't even get to review it.
Well, we're not going to be talking about what is actually a pretty bad toy, so no negative reviews here. The axe smithing. I'm reviewing the 2 Aaron specials, and Aaron is going to clap. Every time Aaron claps, I change which one I'm reviewing. Aaron, which one do I start with?
Let's start with Megatron.
All right, so Optimus Prime is a pretty cool toy. Most of the time. This is an evergreen 5 Below special for you Americans. Packaging, pretty cheap. The child could rip this open. Honestly, is that good for collectors? I don't know, but Megatron's packaging is a lot more accessible. Honestly, it's great for collectors that you can just get this open and really enjoy yourself. The instruction sheet for Megatron, probably something that I would say Aaron would be proud of, because there's a bright white on it somewhere, which is a huge improvement over, most instructions. Megatron here, evergreen design. He looks kind of like if Megatron's shoulders took over part of his brain. It's powerful, but is it leadership material? No, this is leadership material. Optimus Prime looking slim. Realizing just now he doesn't have any elbows, so I guess that's what you get for going to the 5 Below route. He has knees, so he can sit, but he can't feed himself. Megatron, however, can totally feed Optimus Prime, because Optimus Prime has no idea what to do about, teacups. Transformation on Optimus Prime, though. This is looking pretty GoBot in a good way. Machine Robo, baby. I don't actually know how these work, which, in my opinion, makes the entire review a little bit BS if I don't even know what the toy does, but I'm sorting out how Megatron transforms as we go. Don't worry about it. I got this in hand. Tank transformations with turrets made out of arms are pretty, rote, predictable stuff. Honestly, this is easy mode. You'll notice the ball socket connections going on where the arm didn't pop off Optimus Prime like it did on Megatron. In fact, Optimus Prime's arms aren't even ball jointed. They just click all together. It's actually pretty satisfying hand feel on that truck mode. A little bit squat. Megatron, however, not squat. He's tall and proud. His arm did pop off earlier, and I still haven't popped it back on. I got it on before I went back to tell you about what a nice truck mode. Look, it rolls. There's literally nothing else to say about Optimus Prime. So this is just kind of we're chilling out now. Aaron's wasting time, honestly. Concise is the best way to go about this. We're going to fold these in and get this Megatron tank on the way. Now, it would be pretty funny to switch back to Optimus Prime like one more time. Or am I setting Aaron up by telling him what to do, so he's like, I'm not going to do what you tell me to do, and then I end up winning. We got a little hover tank, but this doesn't hover, this rolls. It's a good time. Optimus Prime, Evergreen 5 Below. If you need something that clicks together in truck mode, I guess look for it, but You know, are you after something like this? They make a tall version. Don't you want to be big? Get the big, like, vinyl bottle thing. Optimus Prime is not Megatron's tank mode that looks like a hover thing. I'd show you, but I'm not allowed to right now. The little black platform it's hovering on, the way that it's got, like, this dynamic space tank shape. Not like this squat little friendly truck. You can practically see him staring at you like, oh, I didn't click his bumper together. Never going to. The Megatron tank is a little ball of, like, tyranny. And I actually kind of dig this tank a lot more than Optimus. This Megatron's possibly a legit fun toy. I gotta mess with it a little bit more. You cannot rotate the turret though, so what can I say? 5 below, 5 above, if you ask me, for $5 and $5. Although it's American $5, so at $50 Canadian each, not so much of a good deal. Next, we're gonna be doing, with no challenge, Studio Series Brawn. This is a fun little dude. Look at this. He's got this fully designed vehicle mode, rolls real happily, and the gun can't stay attached even if it desperately needed to. They went for using a little 3mm peg for the gun connection here, and it doesn't stay on. What does stay on is this cool 5mm drill on the front. 5mm, that's right, it flips down. Oh, this little dude is the best deluxe I've messed with in such a long time. I'm going to get us straight to the fun part, the transformation, which is right before the fun part, the robot mode. Brawn's transformation. Look at this trick here with the flip over leg. Look at that. Look at this again. Like, it's just so good. I should be going fast, but you gotta savor the delicious maple syrup of a Brawn transformation when he does it so well. Flip this around here. Now check this out. His head actually doesn't hide at all in alt mode, but you never noticed because you were so enthralled by the drill. There's his head. Here's another bit of satisfaction, going back to that core class Optimus. Check this out. And then, Look how seamless. And then you get a little friendly Brawn. Now, we all remember his iconic scene from the movie. So to represent that, you've got his iconic gun that he dropped, and you've got his iconic drill that he uses, which is honestly a little bit of a violent weapon for a heroic Autobot. If you want to be a little bit less violent, you can stick the drill on top of his gun. It uses a 3mm peg, but this one actually works. So I thought, maybe that was just the vehicle mode peg. Oh, there's another 3mm peg to store his gun on the back. I bet this is going to go great. So I stick it on here. It's staying on there. It's like it's slung across his back. It's great. Oh, no, there it goes. This gun attachment points with this little hole here, I don't like it at all, and it's a real bummer. Because otherwise, if you just pretend he doesn't have a gun, he's a great little toy. I super recommend this little Brawn. He is a fun time. Oh, nice! We're ahead of schedule, baby! Those challenges certainly aren't going to slow things down. So Brawn's posability, by the way, includes double-jointed elbows, single-jointed knees, but if you transformation joint them, you can double-joint them and just splay his leg open like this. Have his foot pointing back towards his own hips. The head also is not really ball-jointed because it's, a Brawn head, but it's got a lot of swivel, and it's accessible given it's recessed in what we call scientifically the toilet bowl. There is no ab crunch, even though there is a transformation joint there, just in case anyone was wondering. Ankle tilts. These are all very good toys that can stay, in the ultimate dominance pose. That's Brawn. All right, let's go. Next, with a challenge, we have Core Class Hot Rod, provided kindly to me because Proxy bought it, by our own Aaron Smith. What is the challenge? Oh. It really made my day when Aaron told me, yo, I found you a hot rod. I wanted to get my fingers attached to it. They're stuck to my arms that stick to the shoulders of my bod. Hot Rod's little car mode is a beautiful car. Hot Rod's little transformation won't take you very far. The sword sticks on top, by the way. Why would you do it? You stick a sword on a roof and someone's going to say, hey, you're committing a crime. But Hot Rod's transformation might throw you back to a guy named Steve. Steve the TFcon, his legacy lives on. Hot Rod's transformation takes his roof, his window, his hood into the back of his legs on these hinges. It's pretty cool, isn't it? The rest of Hot Rod ain't so tight. Hot Rod's shoulders, they got some might. You gotta pull, you gotta swing 'em. But when you get the backpack up, you're gonna sing 'em about how much that transformation kinda lets you down when the legs did all that stuff and then the shoulders are just round. Hot Rod's shoulders, however, bring a little surprise, baby. They can use the transformation joint to swing his shoulder pauldrons up to kiss the inside of his ears and make him say, why do my arms never work normally? Everything else works pretty much to spec. It means specifications. I don't really know what else rhymes with it other than to say I'm gonna lick this toy when I'm done because he tastes so orangey citrus sweet. Hot Rod Core Class. Honestly, might be a little bit forgettable. Really, everyone just talks about this, how the sword goes into a bunch of other weapons. I don't really know how it works, but I don't have the other two with me, so that says the review is done, baby. His posing sword skills are backed up by a neck joint, and Hot Rod Core Class is into shipping waves to anoint that the Transformers Generations title switched from Kingdom to Legacy, and this review is out of the way, baby. I'm all done saying baby, I promise. I have to lick it, you're right. It's in here. Okay, he's gone. Core Class Hot Rod will be back in a few hours. You can't even tell, too. You know, a lot of people say, why wear a mask at a panel? It's because then you can do some little gags. It's a good time. Anyone want to play with my hot rod, by the way? No. Okay. Outside of that context, anyone want to play with my hot rod? What about with the next review, which is Buzzworthy Streak, provided to me by Aaron, Proxybot. I forgot if his name was Blue Streak or Silver Streak when I made this card. Oh well. There's a challenge. Audience participation! Get ready! Name a noun. That's now an official mode of this toy I have to cover.
Boat.
Boat. I hear boat. Thank you. No water, please. What's really cool, right, about this Earthrise Fair Lady Zed design, the Datsun, is we got so many versions, and yet they all have their own little quirks, their own little bits that are smooth and slick, rolling real well, and they all have a different spot that doesn't hold together in alt mode. In the case of Streak, it's somewhere between the doors, the arms, and this part up here. It just never quite gets together. I guess it's like a characteristic of the toy at this point, isn't it? By the way, if you do think that guns on a hood are silly, you can put all of them up on the roof, which is scientifically accurate. Wait a second. I'm forgetting something. I'm about to transform him, and I forgot the official boat mode. Now, a lot of the Earthrise Datsuns, what's really interesting is that while a lot of them turn into robots, Streak, because he's blue like the ocean, has this boat mode, which is going to be, I know some people are thinking, oh, is that just some kind of fan mode? No, this is an anointed official Hasbro design, because number one, a boat wouldn't have wheels, right? Necessarily riding down on the ground. So you'll notice like they introduced this hover car mechanic, like a hovercraft mechanic, where the wheels are sort of paddling through the water. On the legs, they tried to do something interesting where instead of getting the wheels to flip down, you know, logically, like on Gigawatt, for instance, from crossovers, instead, sorry, they kind of buried something in here. It's a bit hard to get out. If you flip out these little bits here, and then you reorient the doors back down, now you've basically got elevated this boat mode where you can see he's got like these hover things here on the sides of the wheels. This part up here, these are the little thrusters that push through the water, turbines if you will, and they let Blue Streak do what Cliff Jumper can do without all the extra rigmarole, right? Without all that nonsense of like little skis and whatnot. Blue Streak's boat mode, honestly, a little bit more impressive than his car mode, and I'm sort of surprised that they retooled the thing to do this, given that, you know, it's from Buzzworthy of all things. The Fairlady Z transformation from there, interestingly, it kind of just works like all of the other ones. I know there's a lot of talk about whether or not the hinges are going to be able to hold together. I've never had a problem with mine, and I feel confident kind of inviting Murphy's Law and Cosmic Judgment by saying that this part fell off right while I was saying that mine never fall apart. But a lot of people are always talking about, oh, you know, is this going to crack or anything? I'm fairly confident that this won't crack or break or have a fracture on a hinge whatsoever while we're messing with it. In fact, if it did, I'd say that I'd probably donate another $20 to my own extra life. What's that saying about Murphy's Law again? Like, I remember when I was a kid, I always thought Murphy's Law was about Murphy Brown, the sitcom. Sorry, I'm getting off topic. This is a trick that I've been really liking on these Nouveau Neo Double Neo classics, where like the piece of the hood folds inwards and then kind of disappears inside the mono boob on your classic Autobot boys. You have to get these doors like back a little bit when you fold this down, which there's a lot of like odd amounts of clutter and weirdness on these, which, especially at 4 in the morning, makes you think like, do I remember how to transform this toy? Also, once you get here, things get kind of, I don't know, we're getting into road rage territory. Things get kind of a little jank, because I'm not done. I can't get this to go down, and then I have to push. I have to double fold, push, really get it in there, and then it holds in. The tab is just too shallow, I think. But yeah, you get your little Blue Streak friend. We're gonna go full on. We're gonna stick these things in his shoulders. We're gonna give him a gun in his hand. We're gonna make him dab, and then that will pretty much prove that this is a solid purchase in America when you can find it at Target for somewhere between $11 to $15. In Canada, where he's, I believe, $45, then you probably should just, you know, make friends with Americans. I know an American, actually, Aaron Smith. He's a very friendly guy. I'm pretty sure he is not willing to proxy buy for everyone in the audience. He's giving me actually an odd facial expression when I mention that. It's funny, I can read it through his mask especially. But yeah, Blue Streak, the Fairlady, it's happening! Look, it's happening! This thing is so, oh boy. Give me my kingdom for a C-clip. You know, some monarchs say, I want to eat a horse. But me, I just want my breasts to clip into my abdomens and not have to worry about it. I was going to put him in a dab. Let's go. We're going to get this dab going. It's popping up again. Almost. Nope. All right. The Blue Streak's posability, the Fairlady Z, Earthrise Datsun posability, I think is really solid because you get these big feet, these big ankles, and you get just a lot of intensity. If I had one problem with them, it would be that there's like so little mass on the knees that at times I wonder if I'm bending his knees or if the toy's transformation joint is just collapsing in on itself. But you get him to do this, and you can see why it's a shame that the Earthrise Fairlady Z is in fact such a bother to get a hold of. Now, one thing I'll mention is that I have 17.5 minutes left on my timer. So I'm just going to leisurely say, I hope that covered Blue Streak, by the way. You saw his articulation. Just going to leisurely see what the last one here is. This couldn't be possibly a problem. It's not. It's Core Class Optimus. But there's a challenge. There's also a card that I think I forgot to make, but we'll deal with that later. What's the challenge? Oh, yeah, here. This is fun. The next review must use no thumbs. Thankfully, we have 17 minutes. I forgot to bring Scotch tape, so I'm going to do my best to keep my thumbs back here. I don't want to get anyone to go on a Scotch tape run, so I'm going to do this as clearly as...
You have tape?
You have tape? Not too tight because circulation is still required. Yeah, baby. This gets a baby. This isn't related to toys. This is just because I'm getting my hands taped. I'm gonna go fight someone later.
How is that? How's the thumbs? How's that? Okay.
Yep,
Okay.
Yep. Keep touching me. Yep. All right. No thumbs. Here we go. Core Class Optimus. So, Core Class Optimus's truck mode is, I think, the worst part of the toy, if I'm being honest. This thing has shades of hybrid-style convoy in that its robot clearly he saw a truck. He knows his body can reshape. And then he didn't know how the rest of a truck worked when you look at it, outside of looking at it from the front. It's bitty, it's got gaps everywhere. It's kind of hard to keep a hold of when you don't have thumbs available. But the gun here, you'll notice I had it pegged in the back. That's the only place the gun storage works on this. I have a ramp built up, and I have the time to give it. This gun has a little tab, right? It's supposed to fit. It's supposed to fit somewhere on the side, and even if I had my thumbs available, it goes in this little thing on the side here. There's a slot for it, and everyone who's told me that theirs worked is a liar. This thing doesn't tab in no matter what you do. It doesn't work, and for some reason that put a massive lousy taste in my mouth on this little dude. His transformation's pretty cool though. Let me run you through it real quickly. The first thing you've got to do is begin the transformation. By folding his arms out. Both of them. There we go. Gravity, thank you. And then you just have to fold his elbow joints out. Now, the elbow joints are on ball sockets connections, right? Which are pretty stiff. And unfortunately, you do have to swivel them 90 degrees to the left, to the side. I need the prayers of the children of the earth. Send me all of your strength so I can twist this single ball joint! Ah! There. And you fold the fist out. Now we just have to do that all over again. So using some physics, I'm going to try creating a fulcrum by not unbending, leaving it bent and then twisting it so I have gripping points. Something that really helps when you want to play with toys without using entire parts of your simian anatomy is to develop good calluses on the insides of your fingers, so that you can ignore the enormous amounts of pain when you grind a fairly jagged corner-loaded piece of plastic against them. Now, the next part of this is pretty simple. You got the arms out. All right, now we just gotta flip this panel open. Really, core class, really simple toys. Honestly, a baby could play with these. Infants are absolute fodder for core class. Then you just have to split the legs. They are tabbed together pretty solidly. It's a pretty solid tabbing structure. Actually, I'm pretty thankful that these don't come apart too easily. It would be absolutely laughable if this mainline Transformers toy's legs could not, stick together for the iconic truck mode. That sound wasn't the toy. I'm joking. It was also the toy.
911, what's your emergency?
Don't worry, I called them. Now we just have to rotate his pecs. Oh, that's just a smooth joint. That's such a smooth, lovely joint. I'm going to do it all over again. Look at this simple reviewing without your thumbs. The part where there's blood coming out of the inside of my left index knuckle is that... I'm kidding! The blood's on the inside. You didn't see anything. Now we just have to fold his head out. There's a little latch here, and I genuinely thought his head would come out with it. His head's kind of nestled in there, so It's really simple to flip out. You just have to press your thumb against the front of his pecs and then use, opposing force to flick it out of there. So all I have to do is just simply flick it out using the available fingernail catch. Oh, no, there goes my fingernail. I'm kidding! It's still attached. For now. Oh, this is difficult. And all I have to do in the next 10 minutes is get this head to fold out.
Use the gun.
I don't need to use the gun! My finger is my gun! And so, there's his robot mode. Just take a look at that while I take a quick nap. Okay, I'm feeling better. His articulation for a core class toy is very ball socket joint oriented, as I'm sure you noticed during the quick 30 seconds it took me to transform him. The shoulders here have a cut on the top, very wide range of motion. Honestly, really solid robot mode. The waist joint makes use of the pec swivel that I talked about before to get some good twist. There's ball socket with good open cuts on the hips and knees. He is an articulate little dude. He even has like this kind of forked butt flap going on back here. It doesn't really get in the way of anything. But there is, as far as I know, there's no real storage for his gun back here. That's fine though, because all we have to do is get him to hold his gun, and then we've got this iconic Optimus Prime imagery put together. Oh, hang on, I have to push this button. Iconic Optimus Prime imagery just put together real simply. It's like dead easy, you just have to put the peg into the fist hole. A baby could do it, honestly. Can you imagine if this happened during the 1986 Transformers movie? I thought you were made of sterners to hold on. Mercy, Optimus Prime. Wait, what are you doing? I'm picking up my gun. Okay, we're good. This tape is very strong. It's very well made. Is it yours? Is it artisan? Dollarama is high quality stuff. Oh, here we go. Nope. I think if I work it in using 45-degree incremental twists, it will get in there. Wait, I just realized. Wait, it's in slightly. I'm going to use nature's third thumb. No. I'm talking about my chest. If I use this to brace. There! It's metal! There. All right. Optimus Prime core class. Honestly, like a kind of laughably simple toy to talk about. He's a fun little guy. I know a lot of people who like him more than I do, and I don't want to besmirch their enjoyment, but I found his truck mode to be so lacking, his transformation to be so rote, and core class Megatron to be so much more interesting that I probably should have brought him instead of this one, because Megatron doesn't have a gun to stick into his hand. That's core. Well, it goes on his back. You can put it in his hand if you want, if you're, a packaging photographer. But that's core class Optimus. We do have 7 minutes left, so.
Need me to free your thumbs?
Not yet.
Okay.
This is not for the kids. This is because we have 7 minutes left, and I forgot to make a card for him. We're just gonna transform New Age Darius without using thumbs. I'm sure this will work out. If I hit the timer, I'll hit the timer. But why don't we just give this a try? We have the time. And I'm sure this will work out great. New Age Darius, by the way, I'm going to go into thoughts while I do this. I think is a decent figure if he was $30 cheaper. The problem with New Age right now is that they've really courted that fans toys aesthetic, which means that they design a really well-made pocket scale piece, and then they coat it in $20 to $30 of baking paint. And I know everyone's taste is everyone's taste. Honestly, I don't think the baking paint does all that much for me. And it sort of bums me out because I think these transformation schemes are really interesting, especially when you do them without using your thumbs. So you can really appreciate how this leg just sandwiched together. And it gets topped off with a little flick of that. It's a cool scheme. It's a neat piece. I was hoping to find the Cyclonus here, because even though I think that they're a little bit overpriced due to all the extra paint work, I still think they're cool. They're cool interactions. New Age's flipper, the energy is still there, and I wish that energy could come with, just give me one that's done in nylon plastic. Do a painted version for all the paint folks. Like, go for it. But I think this challenge is going to be: can I transform his leg within the next 7 minutes? I have sweat in my left eye, and it really hurts. Oh yeah. That's inspiring pain because it got me to get the leg together. So now we've got Galvatron's iconic robot mode.
Gur cannon.
It's Gur cannon. Hey, you know how your parents always tell you don't rub it in your eyes? Don't rub it in your eyes. That was worse. We're through the hard part though, because the rest of this is some real deft flipping of pieces with lots of tab interlocks, and they're a lot harder without thumbs. But we can do this. We did core class Optimus Prime. This will be child's play in comparison. There is some really neat mass compression tricks actually going on with New Age Darius. If you've never messed with one, try to find a friend who has one. Don't talk to me though. I don't have use of my entire hands right now, and I have tape wrapped around my thumbs, so I'm in less of a communicative position. But once you figure out like how this very simple pair of 180 flips works, it's so slick. It's such a nice slick set of processes. And not to keep dunking on them, but I am endlessly thinking about the experience of transforming the Fans Toys, what's his name, Galvatron, when you try to feed the entire cannon assembly through his own torso or whatever it does. Anyone have that figure? The Fans Toys Galvatron? Usually, when I start talking about this, people say things like, oh, it's fine, he just has his robot mode. And I'm like, yeah, his robot mode's great, but do you ever transform him? And they're like, no, who does that? There's two little flippy things in here, by the way, that I'm trying to get into position inside his chest. This is the most finicky part, these little flip-out twiddly bits. But we got him. I'm actually vaguely amazed that I've gotten this far within 7 minutes. How are we for time? 3 minutes remaining! We're almost here. Aaron! I've almost done it!
I'm proud of you, son.
But Aaron, I'm your dad. Are we each other's dads?
Maybe.
Okay.
You guys from Alabama?
Well, oddly enough, no, we're not. Is anyone here from Alabama? Are you going to stand for this?
Tennessee.
That's close enough. Just like cousins.
I love saying state beef because I don't understand any of it. You guys just start saying like state names. You say like, hey, Connecticut. And then someone in the crowd goes like, oh! And you're like, yeah, bro. And Wisconsin. And then someone's like, ha, he said Wisconsin. Hey, we did it. All right, Aaron, you have 1.45 minutes. Get this tape off me.
I was gonna say, do I then pull out the knife and...
No, you gotta do it by hand. Ooh! No, it's still there. Okay, rip it. He ripped it, look. Oh, thank you. I want to share that the human body is able to handle that kind of tape stuff really well. Where'd those come from? Anyway, New Age Darius has a little cannon. I wanted to get this together before we finished. And I wanted to say thank you all for coming to this panel where we did this little experiment. As I mentioned, we raised $100 for Skids Toronto. And I'm going to raise some more as the year goes on. And then to get a bigger pop, Aaron, how much did you raise again?
I'm over $1,000, or right at $1,000 for
Darius says he shoots for charity. Yeah, we've done it. This challenge actually worked out. I don't think I skipped one thing, but
That was a right to skip.
It was a right to skip. Okay, so under the rules, we pulled it off. I should throw thanks out, by the way. Aaron and Josh over here were two of the donators who got challenges unlocked. There was also a donation unlocks from places like Australia. A lot of faraway folks getting involved. We're about to hit time on this thing, so I'm going to get this out of the way. We still have about 5 minutes left, so I'm going to quickly start packing up once this goes off. And if anyone has any questions, then come find me in the TCG room, because I'm going to be heading there to chill out for a little bit. But do that after you stick around for the next panel, because I hear the next panel is some sick stuff. It's going to involve a whole lot of video. It's going to involve a whole lot of obscurity. And if you thought the Q Transformers opening was sick, wait till you hear about Q Transformers the show, the most violent adult Transformers cartoon in the history of the franchise. Butts in seats. And thank you all for chilling out. Have a good rest of the show.